Hello, this is 6 Minute English from BBC Learning English. I'm Sam.
I'm Neil.
Did you have a cup of coffee this morning, Neil?
Oh yes, I can't start the day without my morning cup of coffee, or two or three.
And what do you like about coffee so much?
Well, that lovely smell for one thing, and of course it's waking me up and gets me ready to face the world.
You mean the caffeine hit? The effect of caffeine, which is a natural stimul stimulant on your brain, making you feel more awake. Do you think maybe you are addicted to coffee?
It's not just me, Sam. Have you seen how busy coffee shops are nowadays? Full of people enjoying delicious coffee from all around the world.
Well, it wasn't always like that, you know. The first coffee to reach Britain in the 17th century took months to arrive by sea. It was made by boiling red coffee beans and apparently tastes awful. In this program, we will be looking into the history of coffee in Britain. And as usual, we will be learning some related vocabulary too. But before that, I have a question for you. The earliest coffee to arrive in Britain took its name from the port in Yemen it was shipped from. So, what was it called? Was it A. Cappuccino, B. Mocha, or C. Latte?
I will say be mocha.
Okay, I will reveal the answer later in the program.
Britain's love affair with coffee started with the opening of London's first coffee shops in 1652. People loved the effect coffee made them more talkative and brighter. They it keep it kept them awake for longer, and the drink became more and more popular. Within a decade, more 18 new coffee shops have opened in the city of London alone.
By the 1800s, though, tea had replaced coffee as the most fashionable drink, partly because it was drunk by Queen Victoria listed as Judea Harvey, an expert on 18th century literature, takes up the story with BBC Radio 4 program in our time.
It became more of a working class drink, so there were coffee shack and car carts like this sort of little drink drink cars that you get still in London and you get all over New York. That is a cheap crisp drinks to perk you up, and the temperance movement sponsored coffee's truck sponsored coffee tavern to try to convince working men of going to a pub for lunch. So it's both that is the kind that seriously and has never fully recovered even in the Sharon's coffee bomb. In the 17th century, there was a coffee bomb as increased in his popularity. One of the reasons was that coffee pokes you up, gives you more energy, and makes you more active.
Drinking coffee was also supported by a social group called the Temperance Movement, who campaigned to make alcohol legal. They used coffee to wean men off alcohol, make them gradually stop using something they had become addicted to.
Coffee changed British society and continues to do so today. There's Professor Julie Harris again talking to BBC Radio Force in our times about the situation today. I think if we look at the way coffee consumption is going today, it seems to me to set out two quite to ethical alternative for the world. One is the world of corporate coffees. The coffee chains accept existing of a low wage economy. So you have the kind of mass coffee market of the one hand. One of the other hand, you have this or multi micro loss. Micro loss extends fair chip fair trade office the source of herb, Herbster coffee, which is as varied and as interesting as five wise of five wise and is made in an artisanal way.
Many customers today are turning away from large coffee chains like Starbucks in search of a more responsibly sourced cup of coffee. One example of this is Fair Trade, an ethical standard scheme which guarantee a fair price for coffee producers in South America, Africa, and Asia.
Another reason development is use of micro loss more plots of land which grows specialized coffee beans prized for their high quality and unique flavors.
Fair trade and Microlot coffee are part of a shift in focus towards quality, artisanal coffee that coffee made by hand in the traditional way by skilled growers is artisanal coffee that's often sold in smaller independent coffee shops preferred by trendy hipsters.
So coffee in Britain so coffee in Britain has come a long way from the days it traveled for months by sea from faraway places like Ethiopia and Java, which reminds me, Sam, what was the answer to your question?
I asked Neil which city gave its name to the first coffee to arrive in Britain in the 1600s.
I guessed that it was beer mocha, which happens to be my favorite drink.
Well, you guessed right because that was the correct answer. You certainly know your coffee, no?
Right, let's recap the vocabulary we have used in this program on the history of coffee, a drink which can perk you up, give you more energy, and make you feel awake.
Many people drink coffee for the caffeine hit, the way caffeine, which is contained in coffee, stimulates your body and mind. The effect can be so strong you might have to wean yourself off it. Gradually stop using something which is bad for you.
Fair Chase Coffee refers to a scheme which ensures that coffee farmers receive a fair price for growing their products, while a microlot is a small block of land specifically in coffee beans of a very high quality or unique flavor.
Finally, artisanal describes something made by artisans, like workers who make things by hand in the traditional way.
Once again, our 6 minutes up. I'm off to get myself a hot steam mocha. Bye for now.
Goodbye.